Welcome to my channel, Soul and Beauty. My name is Sydney, and in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys a story time of when me and my sister went out on St. Patty's Day of this year, and we had a very negative experience with some guys at the bar. It was honestly just terrible. So if you want to hear that story time, just keep on watching. I'm also filming this intro at a later date than I recorded the video, so that's why I'm wearing a different outfit and makeup. So if you like this video and you want to see more, definitely subscribe because I have so many story times as well as other video ideas. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video of me being absolutely degraded by men. Okay, so this story begins on the day after St. Patrick's Day of this year. So it was a Friday. St. Patrick's Day was a Thursday. That's important to the story, believe it or not. Kinda. But basically, me and my sister, we wanted to do something for St. Patrick's Day weekend with some of our friends, and they all worked on Thursday night, so we decided we'll just go out for Friday because there's obviously gonna be like festivities and stuff on the weekend. So we wanted to go to a bar downtown. It's so much harder to do your makeup and talk than I realized. Wow. So we wanted to go to a bar downtown in our city, and we ended up picking this one bar, and the whole night was pretty fun. We were dancing and stuff like that and just like having a good time together. And then towards like around 12 a.m. some of our friends started to disperse. Like 2 of them went home and then the others started to go home a couple hours later. So like it was only me and my sister by this point, and it was around 1:30. So the bar was closing at 2 and we were just like, fuck it, we'll just stay like till it closes because we were having a good time. I was pretty drunk. My sister, she found some people that she knew and she was talking to them, and like I was trying to talk to them as well, but she was talking to these 3 guys and they were all like very interested in my sister, and I was kind of just standing there, so I was like, okay, I'm bored. And earlier in the night I had met this security guard that worked there, and we had like a pretty like flirty conversation. It was like, I don't know, I enjoyed talking to him like more than I did anyone else there, and I was just like bored, so I was like, okay, since these people just want to hit on my sister, I'm just gonna leave and go talk to the security guard. So I went to go find him, and he was at the front taking like money from people, but at this point there weren't that many people coming in because, you know, it was towards the end of the night, so people aren't really gonna come in that late. And basically he was taking money at the front and kind of just sitting there like talking to like some people he knew, whatever, just like guarding the door. And I went up to him and I started a conversation, and we ended up talking about just like whatever. We were having a pretty good conversation, and then this is where the bullshit starts to happen. By the way, like if I'm covering my face a lot, I'm sorry. Like I'm not really like here to do a tutorial. I'm kind of just doing my makeup because I feel like it's better for you guys to watch me do something rather than just like sit here and talk. But I realized doing this that I feel like I prefer just talking because I find it hard to multitask for some reason. But I'm gonna be using this like purpley pink palette. I also have the new nude palette by Huda Beauty. I don't know, I love pink looks lately. I've been just doing pink after pink after pink look. And yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna figure out something to do. So like I said, I was talking to him at the front. We were having pretty good conversation, and I look over and there's a table like beside our table. It's probably like 5 feet away, like it's very close together, and it's at the table there's this group of guys. There's like 3 guys, and I noticed that they were like staring at me for a while and like kind of pointing, and like, you know when like creepy guys are just like checking you out? They were doing that. And I noticed it for like 10 minutes, and I kind of just looked over and I was like, okay, like I was not in the mood to get like confrontational because I was just like, okay, whatever, like I don't want to get mad right now, so I'm just gonna let it be, you know what I mean? Because when I get drunk and I feel like confronting someone, I have a hard time keeping myself composed, and I end up like freaking out. So I did not want to do that because I was just like, I just want to have a good night and not like have any confrontation with anybody. But they kept doing it, and it's like 10 minutes now, and I was like, okay, I'm annoyed. Like, straight up, I'm annoyed, and I have a right to tell someone to leave me the fuck alone if they're making me uncomfortable, you know what I mean? So I started to feel like very courageous, and I just waltzed up to them, and I was like, can I help you guys with something? Because you've been staring at me and pointing at me for like 10 minutes now. Like, what's the problem? What's going on? And I wasn't even that like direct about it. I was kind of just like, can I help you with something? Like, I'm confused of why you're staring at me. Because maybe they actually wanted to say something important. You know, I was giving them the opportunity to be like, oh yeah, we were talking about this or that. You know what I mean? I was giving them the opportunity to maybe have something actually intelligent or useful to say. But of course, no, they lied. So the one guy, he goes, oh, like, we weren't pointing at you. We were pointing at our friend that just walked in. And I found that hilarious because I was standing at the front door with the security guard who was taking people's money. Nobody came in. There was nobody new coming in. And I would have seen them if there was someone new that came in. So I was just like, why are you lying? But okay, I didn't say that. So I said to him, I was like, well, I've been standing at the door for like 10 or 15 minutes now, and I didn't see anybody come in. And you've also been doing this for 10 minutes. So why would you be pointing at your friend for that long? You know what I mean? I didn't say that, but I was just like, I've been standing here for 10 minutes and you've been doing it the whole time. So make it make sense. Like, it doesn't. So after I said like, well, I've been standing at the door like for the past 10 minutes and you've been doing it like this whole time, the one guy, he goes, yeah, as if we'd be talking about you. You're ugly. Like, it just flipped. At first they were trying to be like nice, like, oh, and then all of a sudden they were on defense mode because they knew they got caught. Okay, so he's like, yeah, we wouldn't be talking about you anyways because you're ugly. And after he said you're ugly, he like looked at me and gave me like this little smirk. He's like, you're ugly. Like, he did it in a way as if he thought him dropping that bomb of calling me ugly, I was gonna be like so shocked, and I would get like so like he wanted me to react in like a hysterical, crazy way and have me freaking out and screaming. And I didn't do that because, first of all, a random guy in the corner of the bar that's just picking and pointing and being weirdo over girls has no right to call me ugly. That's just first and foremost. So I was just laughing internally, like, wow, he really thought that would do something, but no. Like, you couldn't have came up with anything better than that. I'm just ugly. Come up with something creative next time. We started arguing, and they start basically picking on me, being like, what are you wearing? Like, St. Patty's Day was yesterday. Because I was wearing like green pants, these really cute pants, by the way, that made my butt look amazing. I was wearing these green pants, this white top, and like some beads. Like, it wasn't anything over the top. They're like, what are you wearing? Like, St. Patty's Day was yesterday. And I was like, oh, really? Because why is the entire bar decorated for St. Patty's Day, as well as the entire weekend it will be? Because everybody knows, like, parties don't end on a Thursday. If something happens, if there's a holiday on a Thursday, it's gonna continue all weekend. So I was just like, wow, you guys are actually dumb. I didn't say that though, because I didn't want to drop to their level of having to like try to offend me and like call me names, because I feel like I'm better than that. Like, I really am. I'm better than to argue with some loser in the corner of a bar. Losers, actually. 3 losers in the corner of the bar that are calling a girl ugly just because she confronted them for pointing at her. Like, I don't understand why guys are like this. So they kept like insulting me. I don't really remember what they said, but I just remember like I was getting a little heated because I don't like confrontation and I don't like people just straight up bullying me. And I have a history in the past of letting my anger get the best of me. I have a hard time controlling my anger, especially when I'm drunk. Like, I feel like everybody has this alter ego that comes out of them when they're drunk. My alter ego is super confident, bad bitch energy. She won't let anybody like talk to her sideways without like putting them in their place, because yeah, like I just won't take it. And I have like so much courage and confidence when I'm drunk. But I feel like I am trying to become someone that uses confrontation only when necessary. Because if you use confrontation on everybody that triggers you, you're just wasting your energy at that point. So I was so proud of myself, because in the past I've had these like huge freakouts and stuff. I was so proud of myself that I was keeping my composure while drunk. Like, I wasn't just tipsy, I was drunk. So I was really proud of myself for not like actually freaking out, and like being able to use my inner voice to be like, calm down, these people are weirdos, you're not gonna fight with them. I usually never have an inner monologue when I'm drunk. It's just like reaction. You know how you have like the inner voice being like, should I do this or should I do that? I don't have that when I'm drunk. I just react. But I had the inner voice. So I was like, oh my God, like I have like leveled up spiritually, because now even when I'm drunk, I can keep my composure. And I don't remember what I said, but I ended up like kind of cutting them off and just being like, you know what? I'm just gonna walk away because you guys aren't worth my time, or something like, I'll let you have this because you clearly need it. I said something bad bitch, like, go ahead, have your, oh, that's what I said. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let you have your moment because you're clearly craving attention, or something like that. But I know I said I'm gonna let you have your moment, like a bad bitch. I just felt like such a baddie when I walked off. I was like, yes. So I walked off, which was like literally like a couple steps, because let me remind you, they were right beside the table I was at with the security guard. So I walk away and I'm at the table with the guy, and although I left on a bad bitch, like I dropped the mic, I was still shaking, because that took a lot for me to not freak out. So I was continuing to try and talk to the guy, and he was like, oh, don't worry about them. And I was like, yeah, but I was shaking and I was holding back my anger. So I was trying to talk to the security guard as if nothing happened, but I was like, I'm pissed off. Like, and the more I thought about what just happened, the more angry I was getting. And I was like, no, I don't want to let this person come out that wants to come out right now. So while I am trying to forget / calm myself down, I look over and now they're like pissed. They're pissed that a girl just confronted them, told them off. I know their masculinity was so threatened. I know, because just, you know, those guys, you can just tell they have like really toxic masculinity. They can't stand when a woman says anything to disagree with them. They were those type. I could tell by the way they were reacting. Because after I walked away, I looked over and they were just like laughing hysterically, being like, what the hell, like this bitch, and just like laughing at me. They were trying to make me feel like I was so dumb for even coming up to them and thinking that they could have like been hitting on me. And I was just like, I am not stupid. I know what they were doing. They were, and even if they weren't hitting on me, why did they get so defensive over it? If you weren't hitting on me, you could have just been like, no, I'm sorry, like you're mistaken, that didn't happen. Because it's not like I was coming at them super angry, being like, why are you guys hitting on me? I gave them a chance to like say something else, you know what I mean? So the fact that they were so defensive proves to me that that's exactly what they were doing. Because it's like, why are you so mad then? If you weren't actually hitting on me or like pointing at me or being a creep, why are you so mad? Why are you freaking out? So yeah, they're literally just pointing at me, laughing at me, and the whole time I'm being like, I'm saying to the security guard, because like I don't want him to think I'm a psycho, but I'm basically saying to him, if they don't stop, I'm going to lose my mind, because I have a bad temper when I'm drunk and they're pushing my fucking buttons. And he's like basically saying like, yeah, like just leave it alone, like these guys are losers, whatever. He's like trying to talk me down, all while they're still doing this. And I'm spiritually woke, but I'm not that woke where I'm gonna let someone just like act like this. But again, I calm myself down and I ignore them. And it got to the point where I actually started to ignore them, and I was like, hey, Why am I gonna let my energy be wasted on these losers? So I actually got into another conversation. I was forgetting. I was completely not even looking over at them. I did not give a shit. I was like, I'm not gonna let these weirdos ruin my night because they want attention and they want to beef a random girl. So all of a sudden, this guy comes over and he's like all drunk. He's like, oh my god, like you're talking to my friend. His friend was a security guard. Let's just call the security guard Jake. He's like, oh my god, you're talking to my friend Jake. Like, you guys need to be having a drink together right now. He's like hyping up the security guard because he was trying to get him, like, me and him talking or whatever, even though we already were. And he's like, you have to get my friend Jake's number. Like, he is such a good guy. Like, everybody loves him. Like, you need to talk to him. I was like, I am talking to him right now. And then he's like, you guys need to have a drink together. Like, I'm gonna buy you guys a drink. And I said, like, okay, if you're offering, I'll accept. Like, if somebody's gonna offer me a drink, I'm gonna take it. So he's like, yeah, like, you guys need to have a drink together. Like, come with me. So he tells me to come with him to the bar while the security guard stays at the door. I feel like I should give this guy a name so we don't get confused. So security guard is Jake, and we're gonna call the guy that's getting us a drink Andrew. So Jake and Andrew. Andrew takes me to the bar to get drinks for us, and in the beginning, like, this guy already kind of gave me those annoying, like, I don't really want to talk to you vibes. But because he was being so nice and offering us a drink, I was like, okay, like, I'll come to the bar and I'll talk to this guy. So I walked to the bar with him, and he started to hit on me. He's like, oh, like, you're so cute. Like, can I get your number? And, like, I was like, sure, because he was buying us a drink, so I felt like I had to give him my number. So I gave him my number. He was whispering in my ear, like, hitting on me, all this stuff. And I just was like, okay, because he was literally trying to get me to be with Jake, or, like, you know what I mean? He was trying to get me with Jake. And the fact that he started hitting on me as soon as he got me away from Jake, I just thought that was so funny. Like, guys are just next level, like, ridiculous. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time blending out this eyeshadow. Like, do you see how patchy that is? You know when you use, like, a really dark shade and sometimes it comes out patchy? I'm using this dark purple shade. I don't know if you guys can see it. And it's coming out patchy. Like, it's usually not like this, but it's not sticking to, like, the outer corner, if you can see that. And it's bothering me because every time I try to blend it out, it just, like, disappears. But anyways, I was laughing because he was, like, flirting with me, whatever. I'm waiting, like, trying to, like, talk to him. He was giving me weird vibes and I was getting uncomfortable, but I was like, okay, I just want to get this drink and get back to Jake. And all of a sudden, while I'm standing at the bar with this guy, so, okay, basically, the bar is here. This is the bar. The table with the three guys that are assholes are right here at the end of the bar, and then the door's over here, and Jake and the table are here. So it's like Jake, boys, bar. So I'm standing at the bar, and I look over, and I see, this is like, okay, I don't even know how long. It was like 10 minutes later of me, like, talking to Jake and Andrew, and then going to the bar and talking to Andrew at the bar. It's been around 10 minutes now. I look over, and the three guys at the table, they are still going on and on, laughing. They're, like, pointing at me, being like, oh my god, I can't believe her, like, this fucking bitch, like, going off about me, just, like, talking mad shit, and just being rude, just being straight up, like, assholes. So at this point, like, I didn't care anymore. You're being actually annoying. You're harassing me because I confronted you about pointing at me. Like, even if I was wrong about you hitting on me, why are you still talking about it then? Like, get over it. Even if I came up to you and I thought you were hitting on me and you weren't, cool. Maybe I made a mistake. Let it go. Obviously, that's not the case, though. I know they were hitting on me, but I'm just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, even if they weren't hitting on me at all, why are you still talking about it? I was, like, blown away. So I look over and they're still doing it, and I lost my mind, kind of. I kind of just stopped caring about being composed, but I also wasn't freaking out. So I raised my voice. I did not yell. I raised my voice and I said, it's been 10 minutes already. Get over it. That's basically what I said. I said, get over it. Why are you still talking about this? It's been over 10 minutes. Leave me alone. Everything along those lines. They start yelling back at me. I don't even know, bro. I don't even know what they were saying. They were just yelling shit at me. And then I see Jake, the security guard, and he walks over and he basically goes like, I see him going like this, telling them to stop. They stopped. I didn't hear a single peep from them. And I just find that so funny / disgusting that guys will be so disrespectful and rude and they'll harass women. And if a woman tells them to stop harassing them, they'll continue to do it and even more until you get like super fed up. But when a man tells them to stop, they will stop immediately. Is it because they're scared of getting their ass kicked? Or is it because they only respect men and they have no respect for women? Is it a combination of the two? I think so. But isn't that just so, like, such a joke? How they'll literally only listen if a guy tells them to stop. I was just, like, blown away by that. I was like, wow, thank you to Jake, but seriously, you couldn't listen when I told you to? It didn't cross your mind that you were harassing me, but when a man told you were? Okay. So, after that, I was getting a bit heated because I just yelled across the bar. Sorry, I didn't yell. I raised my voice. Me yelling is like yelling. That was me raising my voice. But basically, I hollered across the bar and I was heated. So after that situation, I ran over to my sister. She was basically kind of on the other side of the bar because she saw me yelling and I wanted to go update her on the situation. So I ran over to my sister and I kind of just updated her. I was like, yeah, these guys were calling me ugly and I was trying to keep my composure, but they kept doing it, so I yelled at them, raised my voice. And my sister started getting kind of like in her protection mode. Her protective sister side started coming out. She's like, what? Who's calling you ugly? And she was still with her group of friends or guys that were hitting on her, whatever. And I was like, no, like, it's fine. I was basically telling her, like, no, it's fine. I'm just gonna have a drink with the security guard now. He settled it. Everything's fine. Like, don't worry about it. She's like, okay. After I told my sister that, I walked back to the table with Jake and Andrew, and the drinks were ready by this point, and Andrew brought over the shots, and we were taking shots, and then Andrew starts saying stuff like how, like, I should come to his house because he has a hot tub, and I'm just thinking, like, didn't you want me to talk to Jake and now you're trying to get me to come over to your house? And I was basically saying, like, oh, like, cool. He was basically just rubbing in my face how much money he had. Like, he was one of those guys that, like, just wants to flaunt how much money they have. You know those guys that, like, they can't stand gold diggers, but yet all they do is shove their money in your face? Anyways, he was just telling me how much money he had and how cool he was and how he has a hot tub and how he owns everything and blah, blah. I was like, cool, I just want to talk to Jake because he's the only one here that seems to be normal. So he's saying all this stuff and I'm kind of getting annoyed. Then my sister comes out of nowhere and she's like, who's calling my sister ugly? And then I'm like, oh God. All of a sudden, Andrew is being like, oh, no, like, you and your sister need to come to my house with me and my friends. Like, let's go to the hot tub. And I was like, who are your friends? His friends come out of nowhere. Oh, wait, they come from the table. The 3 guys are his friends. I don't know how, where, when this happened, but all of a sudden, that was their friend group. And I was like, so I don't really know, like, what my sister was even saying at this point. Like, keep in mind, I'm drunk, so I'm not keeping track of every single thing that's going on. All I know is that, like, my sister was in the vicinity. So he says, yeah, you guys need to come with me, my friends. And I see he's talking about those guys, specifically the one guy that was, like, calling me ugly and saying, he was saying the most stuff. I look at him and his friend and I said, I'm not going anywhere with you or any of these motherfuckers. And he was like, what? Like, what? Like, he was so surprised I said that. Furthermore, I go, I don't care how much money you have. He was calling me ugly all night. I'm not going anywhere with any of you guys. You guys are all assholes. And yeah, I was just losing it by this point because Honestly, Andrew was pissing me off by this point. Like, he was really pissing me off. How much he's flaunting his money. He was just being one of those douchey guys trying to get in my pants, and I was not having it. So I just told him off along with the other guys. Then the fucking guy that called me ugly, he goes, "What? What are you talking about? I never called you ugly." He starts acting so stupid. Like, he has never met me before. He has no idea what's going on. He just showed up. So then I am like, "Oh, really? Now you want to lie?" I was like, "You were so confident earlier. Now you want to lie?" Like, I'm just like going off being like, "Own what the fuck you said." Like, I don't know. I'm just saying a bunch of shit to this guy. And then I'm arguing with Andrew, and I don't even know. It was a whole commotion of everybody yelling. And then I don't know when or how or why my sister, like, how this happened, but she started arguing with the guy that called me ugly and his friend. And I'm pretty sure I was arguing with Andrew, saying like, "I'm not coming, blah, blah, blah." And he was trying to understand what was going on because he wasn't there when all this was happening. So I was like arguing with him, and then Jake was getting involved. And all of a sudden, I hear my sister go, "Don't fucking touch me." And I was like, "What?" So I look over and she's like, "Don't fucking touch me." She's like, "Sid, he just touched me." All of a sudden, the bartenders are coming over. They're like, what's going on here, you guys? And we were just like, "We're fucking leaving. Fuck this." So we just walked out. Ooh, I need a darker foundation. I'm looking a little pasty. Like, okay, I know I'm pale, but I feel like this is too pale for the summer. Okay, I'm a little bit behind on my makeup, so I'm gonna go ahead and do some of the base makeup, and then I'll be back to finish the story. Okay, I'm back. I did my makeup and finished the eyes. I cannot get this to blend. Like, the more I blend, the patchier it gets. I hope it looks okay on camera. I'm looking at it. I think it looks terrible, but you let me know. So after we walked out, we were like, this was all in commotion. We're like, "We're leaving. We're getting out of here." So we run out. I didn't even say bye to Jake because there was so much commotion. They follow us outside. Why? So we were like, okay, we're gonna go across the street to go get food or something. Just like, get me away from here, because they followed us outside. So we walk out, we go across the street, we look back, they're yelling shit across the street at us. And I'm like, who the hell has the energy for this? Like, why did you wake up today and choose violence? Out of all things, why did you choose violence for no reason? So we weren't really yelling shit back, but we kind of were. We kind of were just like, "Bro, bye, leave us alone." And then I went into this food place, and there were more creepy guys inside. And by this point, I was just pissed. I was snapping at everybody. I didn't give a shit. I was like, "Leave me the fuck alone. I'm not dealing with any more annoying guys tonight." So I'm outside. I'm leaning against the wall, waiting for my sister to get her food. And I'm just sitting there pissed off. And someone tries to come up to me. I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Okay." And I kind of felt bad because, like, but I was like, no, I don't feel bad actually, because if I don't want to talk to you, I shouldn't have to. I was just in this feminist mood of like, back the fuck up. If I don't want to talk to you, I don't have to. Leave me the fuck alone. And then there were these girls near me, and I don't even know. I just started ranting to them about this, and then my sister came out, and we all just started like ranting about how these guys were assholes, and they were like, "What the hell? Like, that's bullshit." So we all just started talking shit, whatever. While we're talking to these girls, the guys come out. They're like, I think they went back in, and then they came out, and they were hopping in this Uber. And while they're getting in the Uber, they're still yelling stuff. And we were like, those are the guys. So now these random girls in the street, we're all yelling at them because we were just like, "Screw you, like, you guys are assholes." And then they hop in their cab or Uber, and they just drive away. And I was like, literally, what just happened? And I was so mad. Like, I was so freaking mad. I just was like, I can't believe that this just happened. And like, I didn't want this to ruin my night, and yet it did. And then we found out, like, the next day, one of my sister's friends, she claimed to know Andrew. She said by like the way we described him, and she said she goes to that bar all the time, that she knows Andrew. And she claims that Andrew is cousins with the man that owns a restaurant near my house. called Chuck's Roadhouse. He is the manager of that restaurant. The manager of that restaurant stole my wallet like 6 months ago. If you want a story time on that, let me know. That is the end of my story time of just like asshole loser guys at the bar. This is why I don't go downtown or go out drinking very much, because A, I don't like drinking, B, reasons like this. Like, the guys are just next level, disgusting, misogynistic, sexist assholes, and I just couldn't believe that this happened. This is the finished makeup look. I will have to say, out of all the makeup looks I've ever done, this is my least favorite. I cannot stand how patchy it is in the corners, but I like the sparkle. I don't know, I have like a pink and purple vibe going on. I feel like from far away it just looks like raccoon eyes, but you guys will have to let me know down below. If you guys like this story and you want to hear more, let me know, because I have so many stories to tell. This was my first YouTube video. I hope that it was okay. I hope the camera angles and everything were okay. I'm sorry if it wasn't perfect. Like, it was my first. I'm still learning, and hopefully I'm gonna get better with time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. I'm so excited that you came and clicked on this video. So definitely like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe if you want to see more. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye!